I was already trained as a couple therapist and wanted to do more work with sexual relationships, as that's always a feature in couple work, even if it's not spoken about, which is in itself interesting. So I looked around and there weren't that many courses that give you a robust training. Originally, I started out thinking I wanted to train as an individual therapist, but did some group work and found that working with more than one person, although more pressurized, was more exciting. So I decided I'd explore that. I thought in terms of future career options, having a specialism would be a good distinguishing point about what I could offer. So I decided to specialize in working with adult couple relationships. I chose the MSc in Psychosexual and Relationship Therapy because I wanted something that was at master's level. Tavistock Relationships, with its background in long-term clinical practice, research and teaching, seemed robust and a good bet. I'd been to a number of conferences and CPD events at Tavistock Relationships, so knew that I liked the feel of the place and the people seemed lively and interesting. There was also the fact that because it's a clinical service as well as a training and research institution, they provided clients and supervision. It being a one-stop shop was important to me. Having to go out and find your own placements and then arrange your own supervision is difficult and time-consuming, so having it all provided for you under one roof made it much easier, particularly because I was also doing a full-time job at that time that was non-therapeutic. The thing I really liked about the way Tavistock Relationships trains people was the close connection between the teaching and the supervisory team. The teaching was always embedded in your clinical practice. It was taught very much from the perspective of how you could use it in your clinical practice, but looking at it at an advanced level, at master's level. So rather than it just being skills training, it was clinical skills plus experience plus space to reflect on what was going on for you and what might be going on for the clients. So developing some more advanced thinking about it. I liked the fact that groups are not huge, so you get to know people quickly and you feel safe. Talking about sex can be quite difficult and exposing. Not that you're talking about your own sex life or you're not forced to do that, but just talking about sex can be difficult for some people. So having an environment that felt safe and supportive, that actually makes it okay for you to ask questions, which under other circumstances might make you feel a bit stupid, especially as a mature adult, and you think, God, I really should know that, and I don't, was very important. And the way people were selected to go on the course, so you get a sense of them being at a similar sort of level in terms of your development, it's not a beginner's course, was an important consideration. So you could take it seriously, but still do it with a bit of humour as well, because it's not solemn. So learning clinical skills without being solemn, but with appropriate humour was great. The people who teach the course have got decades of experience, and they're willing to go with you in terms of exploring things. So rather than just saying, right, this is how you do it, bang, 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 they'll say, look, this is one of the issues, and then they'll work with it. And so it's more of an exploratory learning experience rather than a very traditional chalk and talk. The other thing is that although it's all in-house, there's the opportunity to do a third of your clinical hours outside. I did a placement in an NHS psychosexual clinic, and that was quite different. The work here is open-ended in as much as you don't work in a fixed number of sessions, whereas the NHS, where I had my placement, you had 5 sessions to do the work. So that's quite a different mindset, and it was a bit hard to start with. But actually, I realised I could do something useful within a more limited but specific framework. I really liked the fact that you met with your supervisor each week on the same evening. That regular rhythm felt containing. And if something was puzzling, I didn't have to wait a long time to explore it with the tutors. Plus, they were very responsive over email if something was confusing. I felt very supported from an academic, clinical and supervisory point of view. I'd recommend the MSc in Psychosexual and Relationship Therapy, as I think it would be very hard to work with an adult couple on their relationship without addressing sex. So this is a further specialisation, and it gives you the full range of treatments and an understanding of the challenges and issues that couples present within the psychosexual service. It's important for people to understand that it's a different approach. It's not just psychodynamic insight-orientated work. There are also some cognitive behavioural aspects to it. So you listen to the couple, you try to understand how the problem is appearing in their relationship, what's happening, and devise a series of tailored exercises for them to do in the privacy of their own home. They do or don't do them, and then they come back and talk about it the next week. Some couples will go through it very quickly. Others will take a long time to get through because a sexual symptom can demonstrate other challenges within the relationship. Couple therapy is not completely separated from psychosexual therapy. They're mutual contexts for each other, but developing the ability to have a sustained focus on the sexual relationship enables you to go that bit further with people and do specialist work on that. Actually having these skills and the experience of having done it a number of times during the course builds confidence to actually talk to clients in a quite frank way, which reassures people. Because if they're feeling awkward and you're feeling awkward, you're not going to address anything. So if they're feeling awkward and you're feeling calm and confident without losing your sense of curiosity, you model that it's safe for them to talk. And that seems to be one of the big things that improves. If they can see that it's safe to talk with someone, they learn to talk about things between themselves. And that's one of the big lasting benefits of therapy for them. To say, look, this isn't working for me, or I'd rather you just did that. And not feel they're rejecting their partner by saying that, or that they're not being attacked when their partner says that to them. That they're talking about their sexual interaction at that point. I used to work full-time in IT, seeing clients or training only in the evenings. Since completing the MSc, I've been building up my couple practice, and I feel I've got more to offer potential clients, so it's been a very useful addition to my therapeutic toolkit. I have the couple therapy and the psychosexual therapy, and if I were looking to someone to work with, I'd think, oh, they can do that, and I'd feel more comfortable that my therapist could go wherever I needed to go. I have recently left my full-time job and now work at Tavistock Relationships and in my private practice. There's a possibility I might go on to the professional doctorate at Tavistock Relationships, and I've spoken to a couple of people who are doing that. But for now, I just want to consolidate my clinical practice, maybe further down the line. The final thing I'd like to say is that there's an annual psychosexual conference at Tavistock Relationships organised by the senior academic tutor on the course. That's an opportunity to hear people who are leaders in the field from all over the world coming to London to talk about their current research, and those conversations and presentations are very stimulating. You don't actually have to be doing the MSc to attend, but actually doing the MSc, you can engage with what they're saying at a deeper level. So that's been one of the benefits.